All right. So while we're doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize. I'm not as funny as Thane, and this is after lunch. So I know that this is a big task, so I'm sorry. Wow. How many of you, just so I'll know, how many of you are older than 50? Oh gosh, okay. How about older than 40? Okay, cool. Got 3. We're brothers. How many of you are older? 30? 30? Okay, so 20s? The majority of you are in your 20s. All right, so how many of you have been training for more than or less than 5 years? Okay. Yes. All right, so more than 10 years. 15? All right, how long? Total? 20? Right here, me and you, 20 years. So what I'll try to share today then will be stuff I've learned over the last 20 years, and that's not even true, probably the last 5, which will not be how to operate a computer though and make the presentation go. Boom.
I'll text it to you.
Bam.
Okay.
All right.
Let's starting. I don't know why I don't do
Now I'm really timid about showing that video though.
What's that?
I'm really timid about showing the video.
Let me make sure I'm connected to Wi-Fi.
You were.
What's that?
You were. But
I'm on Salt Mine Guest.
You're actually the Salt Mine Guest might stutter.
You think? From here?
They had good internet.
Okay. You're on
all right, so
Make it better.
hey guys, thank you so much for having me out here. A little background about this is Nick asked me, hey, is there something you can present on? Can you give me some topics? And I gave him 3 topics, and he said, well, I like all of those. I was like, oh. I said, well, what if we combined them all? And he goes, hey, that sounds like a great idea. So this is 3 different topics combined together, and I really don't know how this is going to turn out. However, if you guys want to make this better and actually communicate back and forth with me, that might be awesome, because conversation sometimes it just flows easy. And that way you don't have to listen to me for however long this lasts. But, so my name's Tim Anderson. I am from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. So I tell everybody I'm from Raleigh. And I didn't really know I talked all that funny until I heard RJ's impression of me. And I also,
It was a bad impression.
I also thought my voice was much deeper than that, but that's okay.
That's mine. Never mind.
It's okay. It's okay. I have a memory like an elephant, though. I'll just let you know. So this, now, and again, guys, everybody today, they did a phenomenal job. So I got big shoes to fill. But right here, as far as this presentation goes, this is the quote of the day. No one's ever made a difference by being like everybody else. Did you guys see the movie?
Yeah. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. This was a really, well, yeah, he was in that too. But this was a really weird year for me, calendar-wise. Like I saw Logan die. Hugh Jackman got old and couldn't regenerate himself, and then he died. Next thing I know, he's in a musical, and I was conflicted. And the only thing I think that would have made that movie better is when the redheaded lady tried to ruin his marriage and his life by kissing him in front of everybody on the news. If right then Hugh Jackman's claws would have come out, and that would have made that movie so much better. But it was good. It was entertaining. All right, so today we're going to talk about strength, or the habits of building strength. So you guys are trainers. What is strength? I know I invited you for dialogue, but anybody got it? Yes, sir.
So when The ability to do something.
You're my man. He's got it. To me, that's the ability to strength. So sometimes in the fitness industry or just the strength training world, we get caught up in things like, is strength a maximum load lifted once? And I was there for years, since I was 13 years old. I was there for like 30 years. But the thing is I don't know what that number is. There was never a magical number that solved any of my problems. And there was never a number that if I ever hit it, everything changed. It was always like, well, now what? It was just, I don't know, it's kind of empty. And then, well, is it a medium load that you move several times? Is that strength? Again, I don't, if it is, I don't know what that number is, if there's some magic number that takes all your problems away. Or, here's one that I've dealt with a lot, is, just my own issues. Is it a standard that's set by somebody else? Like, strength is a certain amount of body weight squat, or it's a certain amount a weight that you press over your head. That somebody else who set a standard that I don't even know, and yet then I tried to live by that standard. That's kind of just, I'm weird, guys, so I'm just going to kind of let you in on my head on how I think. So if you get nothing else out of this today, you'll be like, that Tim guy, he's freaking weird. And then is it even a number at all? And he hit the nail on the head for me. What if strength was just the ability to live your life the way you wanted to live it? What if that was strength? What if it was something as simple as being able to stand on one foot, put your socks on while you're standing, put your shoes on, tie your own shoes? What if it was being able to go check your mailbox? Walk down your own driveway, check your mailbox. Or if it was something silly like playing Frisbee with your kids at the park instead of watching them play at the park because you don't feel like it or you can't. To me, that is strength. It's not quantifiable like with a number, but it's a quality. There's a quality to it. Or what if it was just simply the ability to move well and feel good? What's my motto from RKC? Do you remember? Feels good to feel good. Feels good to feel good. And you know how I know that? Because it sucks to feel bad. And when you feel bad, though, it's beautiful because you get a revelation that, man, it feels good to feel good. And what if it was the ability to transform the world around you because you didn't have any limitations? That's strength, too. So we're going to get into some, I don't know, maybe some interesting stuff. We'll see. This is my objectives for you. These are not your objectives. I'm selfish. So these are my objectives for you. That you understand what I'm calling the habits of strength. That you understand that normal is, I call it a great lie. Being normal is the great lie. And then understand what it means to lead, to be a leader. So we just talked about that. This is, you guys are trainers, so you have a great effect on people's lives. This is, to me, is the one thing you have to know. Your body is awesomely and wonderfully made, and you have to know this as a trainer. You have to believe it. Look, it says know and believe. You must know and believe. How many of you know there's a difference between what you know and what you believe? Right? And there's a vast difference because almost everybody knows that eating fast food is bad for them, right? I mean, there's not many people in the country that don't know that eating fast food is bad for them. But yet still, yes, I'll have the number 3 with a large Coke and large fries. It still happens. And then you take somebody that says, well, I can't eat pork because if I eat pork, an angel's going to lose its wings, crash into the earth, and my house will burn. And they don't eat pork because what they believe is strong in them, and they act according to what they believe. Does that make sense? You can know something, you can know a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you'll act on it. But when you believe something, more than likely, you'll act on it. It takes an effect on you. But if you as a trainer don't know how awesomely and wonderfully made your body is, you can't give it away. You can't give that to your client. But if you know for a fact that their body can heal, if you know for a fact that they're not stuck where they're at, if you know that they are made to be strong throughout their entire life, you can change that person's life. And you can give that away. You can give that to somebody. And that's powerful. That's strong. And building strength is really just simple math. And we'll get into that, but it is really just, it's addition. Strength is addition. And it's born from habit. So here's the takeaway from this slide. Belief is stronger than knowledge, but when you put them together, you've got something. All right, so we just talked about that. If you do know that you're awesomely and wonderfully made, it will be the lens and the filter through which you see and which you think. And it'll come across to other people too. They'll believe you. You can take somebody, you can give them your belief if you have it, if you own it. So, guys, we are wonderfully made. We're a collection of our habits. That means basically the body that you have right now, you built it based off of everything you've done up to this point. That's just the way we're designed. We are what we do and we are what we think. Here's the cool part. We're creators. You get to create the body that you have. And Kevin kind of talked about this morning. Are you what you eat, or are you what you do? Anybody know? Yeah. Yes, you are. By the way, there's going to be a lot of synergistic vibes between Kevin's slideshow, I think. So we are creators. We're made to create and really co-create. We're really co-creators. You guys ever hear of neuroplasticity? What is it?
It's the ability to change brain, mold the neurons.
Yes. You ever hear of neural pruning? So here's the cool thing. We're co-creators. Our nervous system, that tree is beautiful. And if you imagine that tree represents your body, if you look at those roots, the roots are like your nervous system. The stronger, deeper, healthier those roots are, the more trunk, the more structure that they can support. The stronger, deeper, healthier those roots are, the branches and the leaves and the fruit and all that jazz, that's the expression. The stronger and healthier your nervous system is, the more you can express in strength, creativity, mobility, athleticism, thought, emotion. So we talked about this morning, but it is so true. There is nothing separate about you from any other part of you. Does your movement affect how you feel? Absolutely. You guys were skipping today. When you skipped, were you smiling? Why? Because how you move is tied to how you feel. And one of the easiest entryways to get into somebody's head is through how they move. You want to turn a person's day around? If you can help them move better, you can help them think better, you can help them feel better. And the reason a lot of you were smiling when you were skipping today is because you're made to move and you're made for joy. You're made to be happy. You are made to feel good, and it does feel good to feel good, and that's supposed to be the reality that we have. But we are co-creators. We get to determine what happens in our nervous system. We get to build those roots through what we do and what we think. You're never stuck with what you are. A plastic brain means that your brain is capable of change even if you're 99 years old. Now, there's only, 3 of you were older than 40? When we were kids, they used to say, whatever you had as a brain, you were stuck with it. And if it died, part of it died, well, you're stuck with that too. That is not true. They're still discovering neurology today that just blows everybody's mind. Your brain is plastic and can change throughout your entire life. Neural pruning, also an example of how your brain changes. Use it or lose it. It's a cliche, but it's very real. If you don't use it, your brain strives for efficiency. It prunes it away. So you can build it and you can take it away. You have a great deal of say in that. You get to design your own nervous system, and that's the takeaway. But it's all about your roots, which is your nervous system. And again, I love that picture. I think it's the best representation of the body, except for this one. That's probably the best representation. Those are your roots. And the stronger and healthier, just like over here, they're under the ground, you can't see them. That's under the surface, you can't see them. But the stronger and healthier, more spread out they are, the stronger and healthier they are, the more you can express, the more you see on the outside. What you see in a person's posture and their countenance and how they move, you're seeing a reflection of the state of their nervous system. How healthy are they? How strong are they? You're seeing it when they walk around. You see it in their eyes. You see it in how they hold their head. And again, I said strength was simple math. We are designed to be very efficient. And an efficient neural pathway, that's really another way of saying that, is just a very strong neural pathway. And your habits, the habits that you have, the habits that made you, they're strong neural pathways, basically. There's a lot of strength in them. And your habits are the keys to physical, mental, and emotional strength. You guys ever hear of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Anybody? That ring a bell? The funny thing about that tree is that both good and evil live in the same tree. So your good habits and your bad habits both live in the same nervous system, and they are both strong neural pathways. And strength for a healthy body and strength for a weak body, they live in the same nervous system. Which means everything you do can work for you or against you. And now this is kind of weird too, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they both live in the same tree, but that is not the tree of life. So a lot of times we label stuff that's good and stuff that's evil, and there may not be any life in that. But I tell you, your nervous system's amazing, and it is capable of being created how you want it to be a lot of times. So I know what I said earlier, but this might be the quote of the day. The ancestor of every action is a thought. And this is the cool stuff. You can create the nervous system you want. And it starts with an idea. And here's the amazing thing about your plastic brain. If you get an idea, it is for the first time, a new thought. It is physically represented. You physically created a neural connection for that idea. Which means if you think something new, bam, you've made it real. Whether it's out in the real world or not, it is physically represented now by a neural connection.